say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Such a fine girl. Your eyes could steal a sail.
Welcome back to the Five. So really, the big story isn't Steve Jobs' death, but his life. Jobs, who died Wednesday at the age of 56, was given up for adoption after his birth to an American mom and a Syrian-born father. Apparently, the mom's father didn't want his daughter to marry a Syrian, so the baby was adopted by a working-class couple who encouraged the child's later interest in electronics. Their names were Paul and Clara Jobs. So one hero in all of this is Steve's birth mother, who gave him up for adoption instead of choosing a more finite alternative. Imagine what a hole there would be in this world if she went the other way. Lucky for us, the choice she made was the one she made. In that sense, Steve Jobs makes me think not just of the people here, but the people who aren't. Even more, he makes us think about all the stuff we have. These things we use, we often forget, had to be invented or created by people. Steve Jobs reminds us that there are just a precious few who actually make the world we live in, and the rest of us, like me, who simply consume, occupy, burp. The good news is, in America, everyone has the opportunity to become a Steve Jobs. All you need is a garage and a brain. But his achievements also remind us how only a few of us actually do that. In this case, just one.
That was very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Except for the burping part.
Well, it's true. I do burp, Kimberly.
Yeah.
So, Kimberly, since you're already talking,
Yes.
This guy started everything from scratch, and he got very little help from anyone. Shouldn't every teenager know this guy's story? Shouldn't they teach his story in classrooms?
Yeah, that's why I think it was so important that you did that in your monologue and you choose to focus on that and about how he came into this world and the fact that we're all so appreciative that he was born and, like you said, that his mom made the choice that she did. I think that's fantastic. And this guy is an example of true innovation. This is what the American dream is about. And for me, I think this is inspirational for young people growing up to see that if you believe it, if you think you can accomplish something, you have an interest like this, go with it. And he had parents that encouraged him. I mean, think about how different the world would be if we didn't have Steve Jobs.
Yeah. So, Bob, how did he change your life?
How did he change my life? Well, and you know, on a serious note, which is not often for me, but I will say this. I never thought I'd use a computer in my life. This guy actually changed my life. I know he didn't exactly invent Tweety, whatever it is, Twitter, but I twit. I think the guy, no, so he made social media, he made all kinds of things. I actually learned how to use an iPhone. I'm 3 behind, but I've used it. The guy is going to go down with Galileo as one of the great inventors of all time.
You're bad, Bob.
And by the way, Hannity tonight, 143 conservatives and 1 liberal.
Yeah. Hey, Dana, let me ask you.
One of the things...
Go ahead. Go ahead, Dana.
Well, I was just going to say that on the flight down here today, knowing that we were going to have a moment to be able to celebrate Steve Jobs' life, I just looked around on the plane, and almost everybody had something from the Apple company, whether it be an iPad, iPhone, or a laptop, or what are the other ones? PodPad, iPad.
Me?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, the two of them together, I love it.
But it was really amazing that it doesn't matter what your income is in America, some people will find a way to be able to try to get something from Apple.
And he also represents the beauty of capitalism, too. I mean, we've been spending so much time talking about these Occupy Wall Street anti-capitalist clowns who are taking over city blocks across America, but his example really shows the strength and the beauty of American capitalism. He never asked for a handout. He never took government money. He never took taxpayer money. He built a corporation. And yes, he made billions of dollars doing it. But this is all about risk and reward. That's what the free market is all about.
Well, I mean, it's a good point, Juan. This guy made our lives better by pursuing profit. So it can't be that bad, right?
Nobody says profit's bad.
Well,
no, profit's great.
Obama did.
But let me just say, I don't know how you managed to make Steve Jobs' life into a testament against abortion in this country. That's wacky to me, but it's all right. I'll take it. You know, that's what you want to do.
But I gotta say, what part of what I said isn't true, though?
Of course, it's not true. What do you want to? I mean, I tell you what. I tell you what. I tell you what. So we should go into the jails and say, oh, well, this person really didn't contribute to society, so why are they? No, we wouldn't do that. There's no way. But let me just say. Let me say. I like the myth. The whole thing. You know that he did this all by himself. Steve Jobs, the idea is he's working with Steve Wozniak. He's working with people at Pixar. He's bringing a lot of leadership talent to the table. And I think that's part of it. And the fact that he's there, that he's asking the people from Hewlett-Packard for, you know, help in his garage as he's a kid putting things together.
That's amazing.
That's amazing stuff. This is good stuff. It's not like,
reminds me of Herman Cain, an entrepreneur, somebody who came from nothing and built
a couple of blocks
lifestyle.
away from here saying we need to destroy capitalism.
Oh,
meanwhile, they're tweeting on the iPhone.
This is so hypocritical. When they were bailing out your pals on Wall Street, were you complaining then? No, give Wall Street the money.
Steve Jobs, guys, hold on. Steve Jobs at 20 went and borrowed $1,300 and turned $1,300 into a multi-$100 billion company that spun off nothing but profits. Yeah. Profit ain't bad, Juan.
Who said? Nobody said it.
Yo-yos downtown.
What the yo-yos? What you're saying? What you're saying is that all of a sudden bail out Wall Street. Bail out Wall Street. Let Wall Street have their bonuses.
By the way, we're going to talk about this in the next block. So I want to get to Bob, because Bob has been patiently waiting and raising his hand.
I have been patiently waiting. One of the things I wanted to say about him, and of course Eric stepped all over everything, but is that this guy showed an enormous amount of class and dignity as he was dying. He knew he's been dying for a long time. He stayed working up to the end. I think the guy deserves an awful lot of credit just for being a human being, not complaining. Unlike Eric Bowling.
Just very quickly, because of Steve Jobs, I can go on my iPhone and find out that Apple only dropped 88 cents. It's a $378 stock that dropped 88 cents today. Man, this company is a dynamo. That's it.
All right.
That's all.
Got to take a break. So, Dana and Bob, this seventh thing just isn't working out for anybody anymore. So it's time for us to go back to the 5. But thanks for gracing us with your presence. And Bob, please don't get arrested.
And Juan, thank you for being there and putting up with bowling, okay?
All right.
I'm telling you.
We'll be right back.
My burden to bear.
Bye.